obviously our people in the animation department having some super fun at this Super Bowl here on this Super Sunday. Now, as we get ready for the Super Bowl, number 30, Dick Enberg is getting ready to call his 7th Super Bowl. Let's go up to the broadcast booth. Dick.
Ahmad, let's hope that 7 is a lucky charm for us. I think all of America is waiting for a competitive game, but my past experiences, the previous 6 Super Bowls I've called, the margin of victory was 18 points, so beware. It's all part, this 11-game NFC winning streak, of the mystique of this game and the NFC dominance. And for the AFC teams and players, they must be wondering why.
Okay, good evening, America. We have a pretty good show in store for you tonight.
NFC-style football is on defense, big guys that are hungry, very aggressive, and take no prisoners.
Complete dominance of the offensive line, the line of scrimmage. It's typical what we call it was smash mouth football. Punch him in the mouth, anything you had to do to get that line of scrimmage.
I hate to say we were outmanned, but I guess looking back now, we were outmanned. And it hurts me to say it, and it comes up every time this time of year comes back to haunt me.
Unbelievable. It might have something to do with style of play. I think that, when we're in the Super Bowls, there's no question we had our opportunities first half, especially against the Giants. I think they really concentrate on defense in the NFC, and I think it's fairly obvious to say that the defense wins championships, and it definitely has the last 11 years.
The last AFC team to win a Super Bowl, boy, it's been a while. I'm not really sure. Maybe it was Pittsburgh. I know in Buffalo in 1986. I really couldn't tell you. It's been that long. Could you tell me?
Oh, the Oakland Raiders. Or the LA Raiders, or whoever they were at that time.
The Raiders beating us is the last time that the NFC has lost.
The Super Bowl will ride on the right foot of Norwood. Puts it down on the way. It's long enough, and it is no good. Well, it was a heartbreaking way to lose it for the Bills.
It's still hard to watch the Super Bowls. I still don't want to. I see clips of them, and it still hits me right in the stomach. It's been kind of bad for the AFC, that now they're thinking they're a weak link in the league, that they can't compete with the NFC, and a lot of it has to do with the strength of the NFC players. They're bigger and stronger, and I think the coaches are a lot more intelligent.
The coaches have a tendency of copying things, and when we went to a Super Bowl and won, I think people had to say, hey, big lineman knocking people back, that's the way to go. And I think the Giants were a little bit along those, and then the Giants win, and we say, hey, that's definitely the way to go. We got to get bigger and stronger. The Cowboys, similar type thing, even today, running the football, big old linemen.
We geared ourselves to play Joe Gibbs' Redskins and Bill Parcells' Giants and Mike Ditka's Bears. So that elevated the competition. There's no question about it. We weren't thinking of anyone else, but we had to beat those teams to win the world's championships.
Once you get through the NFC, once you've beaten the Cowboys or the Packers or the 49ers, or once you've beaten those teams, that when you look at the AFC, you're looking downhill, I think.
Came Super Bowl Sunday, something was left behind. I wish I knew what it was, but I don't.
When you look at all the teams that have won, and it really hasn't been that many NFC teams. I mean, it's been San Francisco and Dallas, it seems like. You sprinkle in a Giant victory there. As far as whether or not you're running the ball effectively like Tim Smith did, or like Emmitt Smith has, or Ricky Waters had done, or Roger Craig had done, those are the key ingredients to victories, defense and running the football, which those teams do very well in the NFC.
AFC really have a psychological disadvantage, no question about it, going in. They've been hammered for the fact that they just haven't been able to stand up to the NFC, and so as the game develops, my guess would be that when things start to go poorly, they say, well, here we go again.
It's going to take those people in the trenches that are going to make the difference. And if you don't have those, I don't care how great the quarterback is, I don't care how great the running backs are, you've got to have the people in the trenches to move people and intimidate people and dominate people if you want to win a Super Bowl.
Well, my partners today bring a lot of on-field experience. 9 years ago, Phil Simms was the most valuable player in the Super Bowl with the Giants' victory, and Paul McGuire with 6 American Football League championship experiences. And the whys and whys the AFC doesn't win continue. How can the Steelers be victorious today?
I agree with Mike Singletary. You know, Neil O'Donnell walked in to see us the other day, and the very first thing he said when he sat down was this: our offensive line has to do the job. A year ago when these two teams played, the Dallas Cowboys sacked Neil O'Donnell 9 times. If they give me time, I can complete some passes and get going. The other thing is we have to have a running game. The 2 games that the Dallas Cowboys lost against the Washington Redskins, the Redskins had 135 yards in one game and 140 in the other one. Today, Pegram, Morris, must get combined at least 140 yards.
So the Steelers have to protect, they have to rush. Phil, one of the items, theories not covered in that previous piece was the 2-week hiatus between championship game and Super Bowl.
Well, Dick, I've always thought that's important for the team to win that game, that extra week off. And we talked to coaches on both sides of the football for the Dallas Cowboys, and they needed an extra week. If it was last week, they do not think they could have won the game. Spread the field on offense against the Dallas Cowboys. Look at Lake Dawson matched up against Darren Smith, the linebacker, goes down the field, spreading the field, concerns the Dallas Cowboy defense, matchup problems. They think now, after a 2-week layoff, they have it figured out.
How about the Blitzburg package?
Well, that concerns them greatly. It was all the way up to this last Friday before they felt like they had it figured out, the blitzing of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They do not want Greg Lloyd to get matched up against an offensive back or tight end. If he does, that's what could happen. Troy Aikman could take a hit, and they could knock him out of the game.
So if you listen to the Dallas Cowboy coaches, Pittsburgh would say, why didn't we play this game last Sunday? That the Dallas Cowboys have had extra time to prepare. Ahmad?
All right, thanks, Dick. When we return, we'll check in on a couple of quick healers, the Cowboys' Charles Haley and the Steelers' Rod Woodson.